Hi everyone, I'm Olivia and welcome to this week's video. So this week I am going to be telling you guys some stories from my childhood, my adolescence, and all sorts of random stories like funny stories, scary stories, happy stories, sad stories, any type of story from my past. So it's super random. I was kind of inspired by Stuart McLean. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but unfortunately he did pass away a few years ago, but he had a radio show where people from all over the country would send in their stories, and it didn't matter what type of story it was, it just had to be a true story and a short story, and he would read them on his radio show. And I just thought that was a really cool idea to connect people from all across the country through the art of storytelling. So I kind of thought that, you know, maybe I could tell some stories here and then you guys could tell some random stories in the comments or make your own videos on random stories. And yeah, I just thought it was a really cool way to connect with other people. And I love stories and storytelling. It's so important to our identity as human beings. I sound like a social studies teacher, but it is. It's a way that we connect with each other and learn from each other and relate to each other. So anyways, I thought I'd give that a try this week. So yeah, I'm just gonna jump right into the stories from my past. So this first story is from when I was in grade 1 and had show and tell. So I was so excited when I found out that we were having show and tell, because I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring in Maisie Mouse. Maisie was this little mouse doll that I had, and I'd had Maisie since I was like 2 years old or something, and I cuddled with her and dragged her across the floor and played with her and threw her across the yard. I don't know, I just had such good times with Maisie Mouse, and I was so excited to bring her on the show and tell everyone about all the good times I had with her. And you know, so since I'd had Maisie for such a long time and was kind of rough with her, you know, some of her whiskers were falling off and her fur was coming off, but I was like, you know what? Whatever. Like, I still love her. Like, I don't think I even really noticed that she was kind of worn out. But anyway, so I brought her to school, and just as I was about to go up and talk about her, this kid, this little brat sitting next to me, he's like, why did you bring a dog toy to school? It was the most personally offended I've ever felt in my entire life. Like, to this day, like, I was bawling. I was so sad that someone thought I had brought in a dog toy to show and tell. This next story is kind of random. So it's from when I was little. There was this little cafe kind of in this little strip mall, and my mom sometimes took my sister and I there, and my mom would, you know, have her coffee. And in this cafe there was like a little closet under a staircase, kind of like Harry Potter, you know, but I loved that little corner. Like, I remember there being a Winnie the Pooh stuffy in there, like a giant Winnie the Pooh, and I just thought it was like a really neat little corner. Like, only kids were allowed in there. I loved it. I don't know, this is kind of a random story, but I just have really good memories of that little corner under the stairs. Okay, so I think I was in grade 7 or 8 when this one happened. And so anyways, I was at the park with some of my friends and my sister, and we noticed this bee that was just kind of like walking around. Like, I think it was like attempting to fly and stuff, but it couldn't get off the ground. And so we were all like, oh no, like this bee is gonna die. So my sister and I, like, we had a bug catcher thingy, so we like got the bee into the bug catcher, took it home, and then we had this like little like round planter thingy, and so we like let the bee loose into the planter, and we made a little house for it. Like, we took an old like plastic sprinkle container and like filled it with leaves so that the bee could go in there to sleep, and then we feed it honey, which was, it was so cool to like see the bee like eat honey. Like, bees have these like little like tiny like pink tongues that stick out, and so anyways, it would drink the honey, and we loved this bee. Like, it was kind of like a pet to us. And yeah, at night it would crawl into the little container we made it, and yeah, but one day unfortunately he died. We named him Omar. Omar died. Yeah, we assumed that he died of adventure because he, like, there was this leaf that was sticking off over the edge, and then we kind of like saw him the next day like dead beside the planter. Or not like the next day, like we kept him alive for a couple days, like 2 or 3 days. And yeah, but you know what? We took good care of him, we loved him, and we actually learned a lot. Like, I really love like learning hands-on, but yeah, that was a really cool experience. I miss you, Omar. Next story is of a time that I was like kind of scared. So my family and I were camping in Kananaskis, I believe. That's where we often camp because it's like really close to Calgary. So we were camping there and I decided to go swimming in the lake there. So I, you know, had my wetsuit because it was mountain water. Like, you can't swim in mountain water without a wetsuit because it's like 3 degrees. So yeah, I went swimming there and I was like trying to swim out to this little island that was in the middle of the lake. And so I got really, really close to the island, but then like I feel like the currents were like pushing me back, so I like, no matter how much I kept swimming, like I wasn't getting to the island. I was like, hey, screw it, I'm just gonna like turn around and go back. And I always like have this fear of like swimming in mountain water, that like there's gonna be like, I don't know, like some creature in the water or something, like especially when I'm out like by myself in the middle of the lake. So anyways, I swam back. I was a bit scared. I was like, oh no, what's gonna happen? And then this like giant fish jumped out at me and I was like, holy crap. Cause like at first, like, cause I was having those thoughts, right? I was like, oh my gosh, there's like a bear in here. And then like this fish jumped out and I was like, ah. But then I was like, after a couple seconds I like calmed down. I was like, okay, yeah, it's just a fish. But like, you know that first second when you like hear a noise and you're like think the worst possible things? Yeah, that was kind of where I was at. Funny thing about that though is that if I just like kept swimming to the island, then I could have like walked back. Like I could have, because there was like an island and then like a peninsula, and then I could just like walked all the way back to the shore. So moral of the story, if you just keep persevering and swim to the island, then fish won't jump out at you. So there was this one time when my mom was picking me up from school when I was in high school, which was really nice of her because otherwise I would have had to take transit. But anyways, so I opened the door and threw my bag in, and my foot was kind of like under the car, you know? And so my mom, like when I threw my bag in, she must have thought that like, oh, you know, that's Olivia getting in. So then she started to drive off. The door was wide open and then she like drove over my foot. And then when she was like right on top of my foot, I was like, hey mom, like stop, like you need to reverse. Like you need to get the wheel off my foot. So then she reversed, and then I started thinking like, oh no, wait, maybe it would be better if she went forward. So I was like, okay, wait, no, mom, drive forward. And so then she drove forward, but I was like, wait, like why did I get her to do that? It was closer to being off my foot if I reverse. So then I was like, Kate, never mind, reverse. So then anyway, she's like driving back and forth over my foot for like a solid like 30 seconds until, you know, she eventually drove off my foot. But yeah, that was pretty funny. Next story is one that happened in India. I have a lot of stories from India. I should maybe just do like a whole like India stories video. But anyways, so we were at this temple, this Jain temple, and it was so cool. Okay, this is kind of a side note, but it was like really intricate, like there's like thousands of pillars. I think there's like 1,500 pillars or something, I don't know, something like that. And they were all like carved out really intricately. Anyways, it was so cool. And so one of my friends and I were like wandering around, and like a worker approached us, like someone who worked in the temple, and he was like, you know, where are you guys from? Like, what are you doing here? And so we're like, oh, you know, we're from Canada. We're helping to build a school. And then this guy just kind of like looked at us weird, and he's like, this is India. We have enough cheap labor. We don't need any foreign labor. And I thought that was so funny. I mean, he's not wrong, but yeah, you know, we were there for like different reasons too, obviously. Like it was partly to build a school, it was partly for like cultural experience and stuff, and partly for like learning about global issues. But I just thought it was like so funny. Like, I mean, it's true. Like if we just like spent all the money that we had like fundraised to just like get the school built, the school would probably be built. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was something I hadn't really thought of before. So this next story is one from grade 7, I think, or yeah, grade 7. So when I was in grade 7, it was when I was diagnosed with depression and stuff, and so I saw a pediatrician who played more of a role of like a psychiatrist for me, because I feel like it's probably because there's like a shortage of psychiatrists or something, I don't know. But anyways, she was so cool, and so she started like talking to me and getting to know me and asked me what I did, and I told her, you know, like sometimes I write songs and stuff. It's kind of my thing. And then she was like, no way, that's so cool. And then she told me that she was a professional singer at one point before she decided to become a doctor. And so then she was like, you know what? You should bring in your guitar and play in some of your songs and play some of your songs for me when you come in next. And so I did that a bunch of times. I could come in, sit down, we'd have a jam session in the middle of the doctor's office. Like I play some of my songs, I play some songs that other people wrote, and then she would sometimes sing with me and sing her songs. It was just a really, really cool experience, you know, just jamming out in the doctor's office, the most random place ever. But yeah, I love her. This story is from, I think I was in grade 6. So my family went to Moab, Utah for vacation on spring break that year. And so we were staying in these little like condos, kind of by, I don't even know where it was by, I don't know my Moab geography, but anyways, they were just kind of like staying in these condos, and there was this girl a couple condos over who lived there, like that was her home, and she started to like hang out with us, like my sister and this other family that was with us. They're our close friends, and so yeah, she started hanging out with us, and there was this lady on this bike who would like, I don't know what her issue was, but she would like drive by and like make mean comments about the girl and like bully her. I feel like this girl had like some sort of like a special needs or something like that, because she kind of, I don't know, just the way she talked, and she would kind of like ride her bike a bit wobbly, so like this lady would like make fun of her for that, and it was just like, you're a grown-ass woman, like grow up. But anyways, so we'd hang out with this girl, and I remember just having such a fun time with her. Like we'd collect rocks and try to find lizards, and we'd ride our bikes around the little like condo community where we were, and yeah, that was really cool. I wish I remember what her name was. I feel like it's Liza or something, but I don't know. But that was just really, really cool to like meet her and play with her. So anyways, that is it for this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed these stories, and feel free to leave any stories down in the comments below. I would definitely encourage you guys to do so. I'd love to kind of learn more about you guys and things you've experienced. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next week with another video. Bye!